What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys at home are having a great Friday. You've not been out fishing since before the 4th of July. I know, no fishing content. I apologize. But we've got an exciting video. Been working on some stuff, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So let's jump to the laptop. Alrighty here. So let's get screen record going here. All right. So y'all should be seeing the laptop screen now. We're in Google Earth. I'm going to go ahead and turn on. I'm going to go ahead and turn on. Oh, I don't want to zoom in too much. Give you guys all the secrets. So this is one of the things we've been working on now. You've heard me talk about it. It's the Coastal Carolina Living expert level membership of our YouTube channel. So what that means is when you join that membership level, you get access to this KMZ file. It's Google Earth based, but it's got a ton of data. So I know we get this question. Sometimes it feels like a few times a week, and I always, I try to answer it best I can. I don't always have time to get into the finer details, and that's where this is going to come in. So you would join and you get access to this KMZ file, which is in a folder. We share it with you, and it's got all the data you could want. So we can go through here, and we'll go through, I guess, layer by layer, and then we can kind of put it all together and show you guys exactly what it's going to do for you, fishing wise. All right, so we've got, starting at the top here, I guess we'll start at the bottom. So we've got the three main areas that we fish here in the Grand Strand area. So it's Pawleys Island, MYRLTE Inlet, and Cherry Grove. Now, when I'm showing you guys these spots, just know that it's continually being updated. So I'm adding more spots. I've changed the favicons around, which is going to be, instead of just pins, it'll be the actual fish. So we'll start with Pawleys Island here. Guess I'm going to kind of give some spots away, but it is what it is. Right, so you're going to zoom in here if you're going to Pawleys Island, and you'll have spots where we catch flounder, where we've caught redfish. Oop. And when you go into every pin, I'm not going to zoom in too much to get the spots, it'll have a link to the YouTube video of where we caught that fish. You can kind of get an idea on, how we caught it, what we're using, along with just some little notes. Outgoing tide with Carolina rig, mosquito hook, fiddler crab, sheep's head, and redfish have been under this dock, right? So that's huge, right? You'll know exactly where we've been catching the fish. A lot of these fish are hanging out the same spots all the time, right? And on top of that, if you're a shore fisherman, you'll have some shore spots marked along the Grand Strand. And what's cool about Google Earth is it allows you to come in here, drop in to Street View. Oh, now you can take a look at the spot before you actually head down there to fish, which is super cool. I use this a ton at work. It's a great feature. All right, so that's pretty much going to be the same for Pawleys Island, MYRLTE Inlet, Cherry Grove. I don't want to zoom in too much and give everything away, but tons of spots. I've got to do more in MYRLTE Inlet, Pawleys Island with Cherry Grove. I've got the new, so you can see speckled trout, flounder, redfish. You can see the sheep's head. So that's all how it'll end up looking once we get it more updated. But tons of spots in there for now. And you'll have the South Carolina tides and tables. So say you're going to Cherry Grove here, you can click on that Cherry Grove inside. It'll give you the tide tables for the next, looks like 5 days. So today we've got 6 a.m. high tide, 1 p.m. low tide, 7:30 high tide. And it'll tell you again what those heights are and your majors and minors. Also got, Hog Pier, Dun Sound. I mean, it's got tons of data points for you to pull up tides. So no matter where you're fishing, Merle's Inlet, Pawleys Island, heck, even the rivers, you'll be able to pull up your tide tables, which is awesome. So you'll have buoy access too. This is one of the local buoys here. It'll give you conditions, mostly for guys looking to get offshore, but also for inshore people too. You'll have water temps, what the winds are gusting to, and the pressure. There is also, what is this? This might be Surfside Pier. So more close to the beach. You'll have water temps, air temps, winds. So you can kind of check all that before you head out, which is awesome. Usually, you know, all this data is kind of spread out. So being able to all have it in one spot is just, it's huge. So the next layer is something I'm super pumped about. It took a while to get this all up and running, and I had to do some emailing to get some folks in the loop. But we've got the Oyster reef data. So what this is it's a layer. You can turn it on, and it's pretty much creating shape files for where they have Oyster reef data from. So it's a huge tool to be able to plan trips. If I'm fishing a spot I've never fished before, that's like the first thing I'm going to look for is where's the oyster reefs. So being able to have that, you know, I can kind of plan that along with the tides and everything else where I'm going to look to fish, because now I know exactly where those oyster reefs are. Oyster reefs hold bait, bait brings in fish. That's just how it rolls. Next layer, not a huge one, but good to have. It's the saltwater, freshwater fishing line divide. So just know, you know, you're on this side, saltwater, that side, freshwater. Just a quick, good little feature to have there. The next one is public access. So it's just spots of interest. Here we go. We've got Cherry Grove little waterway pier, Cherry Grove boat ramp, and we've got some intracoastal waterway spots. I mean, it's got, so far it's every spot in South Carolina. I have not turned that off yet, so that's just how it's going to be. Let's go back to north. There we go. So it's got it. It's got everything. I might trim it down because it's a little excessive right now, but who knows? Maybe there's some people, you know, trying to get on some of the rivers that want to know where some good landings are. So, and when you click into every point, it'll tell you some features about it: paved, launch lanes, parking spots. So, I mean, that's a ton of info for a spot you've never been that you'd be able to, you know, take a look at. And along with Google Earth, you'll have Street View. So you can pull up to a landing you've never been at, get some data on it from the points, and even hop into Google Earth and know what you're, you know, getting into, which I find that so helpful. It's just something I do a ton in my own personal life, work life, all that stuff. All right, next one will be for the offshore guys. We've got all the oyster reef data, or not, excuse me, all the artificial reef data. So these next two to go together, this is the names of the reefs, and this is what the makeup is. So come at a little river, you got this reef and coordinates along with what they have dropped here, which is super cool. So concrete cones, barge, pipes, you can kind of just drop in, get the coordinates, and you're off. And that's for all the artificial reefs. So you've got Barracuda Alley out here, Little River offshore, 90-foot tugboat, boom, there's your coordinates. You're gone. I think that's awesome to have all that in there at once. So we can go ahead and turn those off, the artificial reefs. The next one's pretty cool, something that I think will help with, again, offshore and even inshore to a certain extent. But so essentially this layer, the NOAA raster layer is navigational charts for the most part. And what it does is it overlays pretty much paper maps onto Google Earth. So say you're fishing little river jetties, you can come in here, go collarless preview, and it's going to turn on this feature, right? So now you have pretty much navigational charts out of Little River into the ocean. And say if you're going further out, right, you want to hit some of those offshore reefs, you can kind of expand it to the next layer. So instead of green is inshore, really close to shore. Orange will be, you know, working your way out. And what's super cool about this is, right, you could turn this one on, load these navigational charts, come back in here, turn on your offshore reefs, and now you'll kind of have the fish haven, it's called on the navigational charts, and what's in there. You know, your charts to get there, your depths on the rides out, all that good stuff. And then you can kind of expand it even more, go totally offshore. You've got pretty much the whole North Carolina, South Carolina coast down to Charleston loaded up to the ledge, which is pretty cool. I know a lot of guys obviously have it on their boat, but if you want to have it on your phone, laptop to plan out a trip ahead of time, you know, you can do that. All right, and then you just pretty much come in here, go into temporary, delete contents, and that'll delete those charts from your view for now. Turn that layer back off. So I guess going into this a little bit further, turning everything on, right? And let's say I'm going to be fishing at a little river spot that I don't usually fish because it's not the most kayak friendly spot. All right, so I would come in a little river, everything's on, right? And I'm going to initially kayak fishing, skinny waters. I'm jumping to this. Doesn't sound over here. I would check, come in here, I'm going to check my tides. All right, I see all this oyster reefs. It's going to be a real fishy spot. You've got tide charts for the day. You've got your buoy over here, so you'll know what your conditions are for the most part. It's 15.6 gusting to 21, pressure, water temps at 80, air temp 79. Well, that seems a little fishy. I don't think it's 79 right now. 719, there's your local. Yeah. Air temp's 81, water temp's 85. So it just had not updated. But that's the current. Yeah, wind's low. That might have been from yesterday. So you can go back to Google Earth. What's cool is you can click into those layers, pull up the real-time data, and you have it. You don't have to go to 7 different websites, 4 different apps. It's all in one spot, which is the best feature of this, especially for planning spots or planning trips. And then if I was also here, I'd probably load that layer as well. And what's cool is it won't overlay the other spots. So this will be on the bottom, right? You'll have your nav charts. You can see, okay, we've got at least 3 feet back in here, maybe 2 feet. So it would still be good kayak-wise to get back in there. Got your markers on the waterway, right? And then, let's see, delete that. What else is there to share? Yep, you've got all your different tide charts. Kind of figure that out. All your oyster reef data. Obviously, we don't have any fishing spots picked out for Little River because it's not somewhere that we can readily fish in kayaks. But if it was Cherry Grove, Myrtle's Inlet, Pawleys Island, you can pretty much go in there, see where we're catching spots, watch those videos, gather your data so that when you're on the water, you're not wasting time trying to find spots. You're getting there, you have a plan, you're getting to the fish, and you're getting them quick before everybody else. You'll have that local knowledge along with tons of data to plan your trips and make sure that you are successful and having a good time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's just a quick overview. It's something we've been working on. I'm continually updating it. I've got tons more data that I'm trying to work into this file. so that hopefully it's something that you guys will use, and we can continue to build just a community of saltwater anglers here on the Grand Strand that want to contribute to this, and just, you know, hopefully we'll all continue to catch fish and grow a community here of fishermen. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've got some exciting videos coming up, some pig hunts, some more fishing stuff, and deer season's coming. So, but we'll catch you guys on the next one, and peace.